Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ando. Welcome back out to the channel, and today's video is going to be really great. We've gone through 2 weeks of this new GAC. Although GAC truly hasn't changed much as far as the mechanics of it, it has changed, I guess, the importance of it, just because of the crystal payouts and stuff. So we're going to talk about the top 10 core squads. Now, what do I mean by core squads? I mean like these squads are kind of your run-of-the-mill, but are very, very important. It's what kind of happens once your galactic legends are out of the way. Now, I do understand that some of these squad compositions and stuff like that will change once you have galactic legends, and there'll be some hard choices that we have to make once we get those, and what our team comps are going to be. But it doesn't really kind of get away from the fact that, hey, these are core teams that, like I said, once the galactic legends are out of the way, it really comes down to, hey, whose core teams are better? Is it theirs, yours? Who has better mods on them? Who has the better strategy? Who, baited out a different counter with them? And that's usually what the match comes down to. The galactic legend piece is usually kind of, the exchange of galactic legends, but the core teams is what the bulk of the fight comes down to. And if you can win the core fight, then I feel like you do yourself a big favor in trying to win. So let's go ahead and talk about these teams. And there's more than 10 guys, so be sure to hit up the comment section down below about some of the ones that I missed. But I thought that these were some of the most important ones and the ones that I would want to invest the most in. So hopefully this helps you guys out. All right, so the first one that we have here, as you guys can see, is the Mandalorians, right? So it is Conquest Maul. He's relatively new, so some of the people that, or some of the accounts that are relatively new aren't going to have him. But I do think that this is probably one of the best lineups that you can do with the Mandalorians. Basically, Wat Tambor, guys, he's going to make it to where Han Solo is the only person that shoots before Maul goes, and like this team can actually just run circles around you due to frenzy. Very, very strong team. You can sub out Mando because I know he has his own team. Bo-Katan works in here. Jango Fett works in here. You can also sub out Wat Tambor, but Wat Tambor is the one that makes it to where Maul basically takes like 2 turns right back to back. So yeah, it's really, really good, and it's a very hard team to beat. The next one that we'll talk about is Geos. Now, if we're talking about core teams, I guess that this is really like what I always envisioned, like the core teams. Like, there's not a galactic, there's no legendary in here. There's no hero's journey in here. It's just characters that are mostly like 2 to 3 years old, with GBA being like kind of the only exception that kind of came out relatively, not so long ago. I guess though it is like over 2 years now. But this team is just super forgiving, and in most cases it gets you the full banner win too, like especially on offense when you're controlling them, guys. Like, this team is really, really good. I see so many people not choose not to add relics to the Geos. I'm telling you, on offense these guys can take out so many different things. Crew, a bunch of newt teams, a bunch of bounty hunter teams, right? Like, there's a lot of possibilities for these guys, and they do it usually with full banners. So I think for me, Geos have to be in a core team. And again, like, they don't even have to start first. Like, it's one of those things where their health equalization and their protection and health regen kind of take over, and you're able to just kind of yeet people with Geo Spy. So they're another core team for me. Now, DR has definitely fallen down a little bit, but I'm telling you what, like, if you mod your DR well, and you've got a fast DR, you've got like a good solid base team, it is at least going to create a situation where your opponent has to think. And I think for that reason, and that reason probably alone at this point, especially I guess for the lower GP, like, he still is basically a galactic legend. He is in many cases kind of like, you're not going to get through this, but he is, like, as you kind of progress on in the GP and the leagues and stuff like that, he is becoming more and more counterable. But I do think that this is probably the best variant of DR. So if you have to choose who to invest in, this is who I would choose to invest in. DR with a a pre-taunting tank is really important. It really kind of solidifies a lot of counters that go against it. So for me, that's what it is. Now, in some cases, HK is better than Sith Marauder. You know, in some cases, you know, there's plenty of variability here, but I've been running Talon personally on mine. But for me, Darth Revan still makes it onto these core teams. And we can't go much further than Jedi Knight Revan. Now, with Jedi Knight Revan, he's got a savior. He's got basically a, man, I screwed up, but I've got like an instant revive, right, with Jolee Bindo. And the thing with them is you sub out Grandmaster Yoda, you sub out Jolee Bindo, and you put in Old Ben, and you put in JKL, and you've got a Galactic Legends counter. So for me, this is a core team, and they provide so much flexibility. Like, the thing is that you can mark outside of anybody, which is why you can kind of, that coupled with, you know, the revives, you can pretty much take on any team, because you can kind of choose who you want to fight. So they're on this core list team for me. Now, Bossk, the reason why Bossk, and this is, I think, the best version of Bossk for sure, but the reason why Bossk is because, again, he's core to being able to just beat a ton of teams. You don't need to go first with him, although it does help, and you can beat a lot heavier teams with him if he goes first. But really, because he has so much survivability and there's so much health and protection regen on this team, it doesn't matter. Like, and they can attack out of taunts. 3 of them at least can attack out of taunts. You've got a dispel, you've got a buff dispel from on their side. Like, there's so much going on, and Frenzy's gonna really take over once you actually get a turn. There's been so many fights where I know I'm not going to take the first turn, and I still come out with pretty much full banners all the time. Great team. 3 of these guys, like, one of them actually has a one-shot kill, you know, Mando. And the other 2, like, with the right circumstances, are going to also do one-shot kills, and they're not going to allow you to revive. So those are just huge components that happen inside of this team, and they're just really good. So we're going to go with Bossk there. Now, I want to spend some time on Bad Batch. This is a team that is relatively new. As people are relicking them, more and more people are relicking them. We're finding out more and more about them. There was I'd say like a time frame where everyone's like, dude, just screw Omega. Like, she doesn't need to be in the team. Just undersize it. You'll be good. I promise. I'm telling you right now, that is 100% wrong. Like, bring Omega. She makes the team a lot better. If she doesn't actually make the team better from damage wise, but she makes the team better mechanics wise, you get the instant stun from Wrecker. Like, there's just so many things that you need Omega here for. And she is assisting, and if you have defense up, she's also doing true damage when she does that too. So, and it's an AoE true damage. So, like, she is really needed. All those Omega Qui-Gon Jinns, or Omicron Qui-Gon Jinns, right? Like, they seem to really be falling hard to Bad Batch. This is like another really core team. And I just can't say enough about these guys. Like, I wish I had 4 or 5 more of them in my squad, or in my roster. All right, this is another just a core squad, right? Like, this is when I think of core squad as well, like, this is like probably the pinnacle of, like, hey, there were some legendaries in here, you know, and Hero's Journey, a character, but ultimately, like, this team can beat so many teams. We take the first turn no matter what, unless there's another Han Solo and he's faster than us speed wise. But this is the team, right? And don't go crazy with this, guys. Like, some people try to sub in R2D2 for C3PO or whatever. Don't try it. This is the team, right? This is 100% the team. You are probably going to see in the future, for me, that CLS is going to get Relic 7, 3PO and Chewie's going to get Relic 7, Chewbacca's going to get Relic 7. Like, this team is really solid. They can beat pretty much every team that's not a Galactic Legend. Like, there's a lot of teams that this team can beat. So another just core team for me, and they usually do it with really good banners too. All right, JTR Bros. Now, again, this is a one that, like, if you rewind the clock probably, you know, 2 years ago, before Resistance Hero Finn and Resistance Hero Poe came out, I would have probably told you, like, JTR probably the worst Hero's Journey character to come out. those two changed this team. Like just that is 100% like a fact. Those two changed this team. If you have these guys modded right, they're really good defensive squad, they're a really good offensive squad with good banners, and there's so much control, there's so much, you know, again, there's protection and health regen here, there's stuns, there's all the things. To turn meter, like they just kind of don't stop. If they start on you, you are gonna have a hard time getting, you know, the momentum back. Now it is possible, but these guys are really good, and a lot of times, like I said, they are a pretty close to full banner win. And a lot of times, if you look at the modding and stuff on the JTR Hero Bros, that like this is 100% a core team. Now again, I understand that some people use them with Galactic Legends, you know, Rey, but I will say I own a Galactic Legends Rey, and I use this team pretty much every GAC. Like, it's that good. So okay, Imperial Troopers. Now here's the thing, guys, like people are gonna go crazy because I put Moff Gideon in here to trigger people. Like, quite honestly, people go crazy over Imperial Troopers. They go like, this isn't Troopers, why do you have Moff Gideon there? Okay, listen, Troopers are Troopers. Like, literally, Imperial Troopers are just go out and get the first kill. If you go out and get the first kill, then you don't have to worry about anything else. That is the bottom line with Imperial Troopers. So I'd say pretty much anyone in the Imperial Troopers faction, sans probably Stormtrooper, is probably an option, right? Like, it might not be the best option, it might not be the worst option. Like, as long as you get a kill with this team, I promise you that you won't care who is there. The thing why I put Moff Gideon in here is because his base speed is so high. Really, the ultimate test of the Imperial Troopers is, are you gonna go first? If you go first, you will win. Like, it's just sort of the way that it goes in many cases, as long as they're not a Galactic Legend. And so for me, that's why I put Moff Gideon in here. And also, everyone just always hates on him, and I get it too, because he's good in so many other places. So you really do want to have a fast Piet, with all that being said. But when you don't, Moff Gideon's there to rescue you. All right, Gas 501st. Now this one's, if you bring it on offense, this one's not going to give you a great banner return, but there's not a single team, at least that I'm aware of, that Gas 501st can't kill. It's just, they are a core team, like, that is not a Galactic Legend. They're going to kill it. And like I said, it's not going to be for great banners, at least most times, but it is going to kill the team. And even in some cases, you know, Galactic Legends, right? Like, it will kill some, you know, Reys out there. But really, the ultimate thing is like, this team also on defense is going to pull out a good team. Like, hypothetically, the only cheese team that really kind of beats it is the Bounty Hunters. But again, that's a core team for a core team nowadays, especially because a lot of times they're going to be using either Moff Gideon or they're going to be using Omicron Zam, and I'm totally okay with that at this point. Like I said, if they're going to waste an Omicron on it, or not waste, I wouldn't say the waste, but if they're going to use an Omicron on it, then hey, I think he's done his job. So guys, like I said, that's going to be a quick down and dirty of what I think the top 10 core teams are. I struggled. There was a few of them that I wanted to put on there, like Qui-Gon Jinn with Omicron, but right now I just don't think that that's like a core team. And like I said, a lot of the teams that are on here actually can still beat that team. I'm still kind of waiting for some of that stuff to kind of, you know, kind of fill itself out. I thought also another one too, basically the Dash Omicron team. Like, I think that's a really solid team. Basically all the Star Killer ones, really, like EP with Mara Jade, I thought was another one that could fit on here. But that's gonna be my, like I said, the top 10 core teams that I like. If I were starting it over today, I would definitely develop these teams out, while also still chasing a Galactic Legend too, because we can't lie, right? Galactic Legends are very important in this game. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys can kind of develop those squads and now know where to put some resources into, and some modding and all that good stuff. So if you guys did like the video, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you guys would choose to subscribe to the channel, it would mean a ton to me. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.